let's talk about axle bearings. So on your 9000 series John Deere, on your 8000 and 7R series tractors, this is your inner bearing. No matter what size your outside diameter axle is, this is the inner bearing that's used. That's your part number. So I've got Timken website pulled up here, and I'm going to show you that this is your load ratings. Now, I don't understand what all the numbers mean, but I did a little bit of research on Timken's website, and I picked out the static load. So 80,000 pounds on this bearing, which static load, they say, is how much weight the bearing can take with no revolutions or no rotation without deforming it. So 80,000 pounds. So we know that you can't weight that tractor that much, or you can't weight that axle that much, so that's perfectly in line. This bearing has been used since 8000 series and 9000 series. The part number does change, but here's a tip. It just changes from individual cup and cone to a set cup and cone. So that's how the part number gimmick works. So what we've developed, let me back this up. This is also what fails. This is your inner bearing, no matter what size your axle shaft is. If you've got a 100, a 110, or a 120, they all use the same bearing. It's important to know. So yes, your 120 has a larger outside diameter bearing, but it does not have a larger inside diameter bearing. And this is the bearing that fails. It's very rare for your outer bearing to fail before your inner bearing. Okay, so here's our update. Static load rating for this bearing is 125,000 pounds. So pretty significant. The dynamic rating at 90 million revolutions is 21.6 or 21,600 pounds. Here it is 13.2. The dynamic rating at 1 million revolutions is 51,000. This one is 83.5. So here to show you the cone bore is the same size, 110 millimeter. The width of the cone is 35 millimeter. (110 millimeter) and 46 millimeter. Okay, I've laid a Sharpie on the small one, and that pretty much takes up the thickness. So very significant difference in the size of that bearing in race. So what we've done is we've developed a way to install this on the inside, or it replaces this. You can't do it in all axle housings, but we can do it in enough to where we're going to offer this in our final drives, and actually not in our final drives. We're going to offer this in our complete axle assemblies, and those are going to go up to a offer of a 5-year warranty on the axle because of that, if it has that bearing installed. And this here will just have the standard 2-year warranty. So based on the load ratings and how you calculate the hours, I haven't figured that out yet, but we know this is a lot more significant, and we think it's going to rule out a lot of problems. We know we can do this on the single reduction. We're going to try it on the double reduction next, and if it works, we'll be able to offer that 5-year warranty on the double reduction axle also.